Good afternoon, everybody. As I've promised in the past, I'm going to do the next video with our star player, the double needle. Now, as you can see, I've already inserted it into the machine, but I will describe to you what you need to do in order to get it there properly. Now, you're thinking, well, gee, what does it look like? Well, it is no different than a single needle. It'll have a front side and it'll have a curved side. Now the rounded side, of course, is going to go towards you, and the flat side is going to go towards the back of the machine. Now the next thing we have to do is insert it into the needle holder. So it's going to go pretty much flush with the main area here, and that's where you're going to tighten it up and make sure that it's snug so that you can do your project. Now the next thing we have to talk about is the spools of thread that you're going to be using for your machine. Now I chose blue and red, and my bobbin thread is white. So I'm being a little patriotic today, I guess. So what you're going to do is you're going to grab both of the threads and you're going to go through both the back eyelet and the front eyelet at the same time. When you come down to the tensioner, this is where it's going to cause you to have a little bit of concern. One of the things that you have to do is try to make your threads as close to being separated as possible. It may not happen, but as everybody who sews understands, threads will intertwine every single time you're running two. So here we are at the tensioner. Now, because the red one is our first thread, that thread is going to go into the back slot of the tensioner. This is why there are two slots for the machine. I talked about that before. When you're running a single thread, it doesn't matter which one you're in. But when you go to a double thread, you'll need to separate them when it comes to the tensioner. Now, the blue one will go right behind it, just as if it was coming down for a single thread, but this time it's going to go into the slot closest to you, so that both of them are going into the tensioner separately. When they come out, it really doesn't matter, but you try to keep it as close as possible to being separated, going through the arm, and then to this guide, and then to this guide, and through this area, and then back down to this eyelet, as separated as possible. Now you can see here that they're twining together, I guess you might say, as they're coming down, but again, this doesn't really matter in this area. You're going to put both threads through this guide here, and then the red thread, you're going to have to separate away from this eyelet. You're going to have to separate it away so that it'll go into this first needle. After you've gotten the red thread, you grab your blue thread and you put it through the second needle. And that's how we keep them separated. But like I said, when you get into this area or this area up here, or even these areas up here and over here, it really doesn't matter, because of the fact that the only crucial times that you need to have it separated is at the tensioner and down at the needles. Everything else is important, but not that critical. Now, you're thinking to yourself, oh, you got two needles and you've got one bobbin, so how's this going to work? Well, what it's going to happen is it is going to grab both threads at the same time. And as you can see, I did a straight stitch and a decorative stitch just to illustrate to you what they look like. Now, if I turn the fabric over, you can see that in this straight stitch, it is grabbing both threads at the same time, and that's what it's supposed to do. And it'll do the same thing in the decorative stitch. When you're running this machine or any other sewing machine, the bobbin will control both of them at the same time as it would as if it was running a single thread. So that's all I have for today. And as always, happy sewing. Have a great day. And if you enjoyed my film, please hit that subscribe button so that you get notified, and ring that little bell and let me know that I've got a thumbs up on my video. Bye, everybody. Have a great day.